Hey guys, in this video I am going to show you how to build this kind of articulated facade using a new block in our flow builder called Line Shorten. Alright, and now before we start, I've created some types called a transom. And all this is it's got a 3.8 meter height, 0% efficiencies, and I've created a mullion. And all the mullion is, the mullion's the same, and it's got 3.8 floor to floor, 3.8 floor to floor, and the 0% efficiencies. All right, so let's show you how it works. The first thing we do is we open Flow Builder and we offset a line. And then we're going to offset a usage here. So this I'll say commercial. And you can see here there's a number of levels now on this block, which is going to override any levels that are on the main feature. So I'm going to delete that and just save, just so you know what's going on. You can see now we've got this commercial, it's got 0 levels. And so if we add a levels property to the root feature, you can see it's suddenly gone up and we've got 1 level, so we can sort of make that go up and down. Okay, so what's happening is the root feature now has a levels property, and because this commercial does not have a levels property, it inherits the root features property, and that's why I'm controlling the levels from the root feature. Or I can override them here, so if I add the levels property here, it'll override. Now what we want to do is we want to offset the line, say by 0.1, and we either go in or out. We go left, which is out, and then we use stroke dash to break that line into strokes and dashes. Okay, so far so good. Now, this is where we use the line shorten. So if I add this guy, I'm going to get the line shorten. Now what line shorten does is it takes a parameter at the start and a parameter at the end of the line. All right, 0.2, 0.2, and returns the middle bit of the line and the two ends. And if I offset these polygons, these are the middle. So let's say these are 0.4, and we go to the left, and I'm going to add the transom use. And all the transom use is, remembering, it's just a building section type with 0% efficiencies and facade set to false. And then I do a similar thing here. Let's say these guys are 1 meter to the left, and we add the mullion use. And I hit save. You should see what's going on. Okay, now you can see the mullions are only coming up 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's because this has 6 levels, but the mullions are being overridden because they've got a levels property set to 4. So I can either match that sort of manually, or I can delete it and it will inherit the 7 from the top. Right, so you can see what's happening. We've gone stroke dash, stroke dash, stroke dash, and the strokes have been shortened by 0.2. We've offset those 0.2s out to make these mullions. We've offset the other bits out to make the transoms. The mullions have facades, the transoms have facades set to false, which means they don't show. So if I go back and I do the other way, you'll see they suddenly appear. I save changes, they disappear, and the transoms don't. Okay, that's cool. And now we just need to do the rest. So that is the dashes. And essentially we do the same thing. So we've taken the strokes and then we just do the line shorten. And we can do something different here. Maybe we offset these by 0.5 and 0.5. Okay, and now the middle, why don't we do this? We take the middle and we offset the middle by, let's say, 0.2 to the left, always to the left, and we're going to make it solid. So let's make it mullion, even though it's not really mullion, it's more solid panel. Let's offset this boy, offset this polygon. We'll offset this 0.5, and then we'll add transom. Okay. Now we can actually do this thing where we get the start and the end. So why don't we do that? 0.5, so now we can offset this one. Let's offset it 0.3 to the left and add transom over here. Transom and save. And let's just see if we've got what we wanted. Now we have not got what we wanted because something's offsetting in both directions, this little one. Okay, so I'm going to open that. See that both? We need that left. So that was offsetting to the left and the right, i.e. into the building and out of the building. And then of course it's trying to stack. We're still getting, oh no, we don't have the problems. Now we just have the problems. We haven't deleted the levels. Delete, delete, and delete. Save changes. All right, we've got a relatively complex little building here. So we've got like a kind of a syncopated grid thing that's going on. And I can sort of, 0.2, that's not the one I want. I want this one over here. You can see the strokes on the one side become mullions, and it's the other side on the other side. It's the other way on the other side. So you may take this line short and go asymmetric. So once you go 0.8 and 0.4, now there should be some asymmetry. Okay, you can see that asymmetry. There's the 0.4 and there's the 0.8. And I may just change that proportion ever so slightly up to 1. Cool. All right. Well, there we go. We've got ourselves a kind of little expressive facade just using stroke dash and line shorten. And as usual, if you come with some oblique corners, you can get some stack order issues. But overall, pretty effective, I think. And I've now got two buildings with slightly different characters. Not majorly different characters. I guess this is sort of shows you the power of proportion, of using the same material palette and the same techniques, and I'm getting just slightly different feelings from these buildings. And if I change this to like 1.8 or something, get a skinny one, you can make that even more pronounced. You can see what I've done here. I've just added on this commercial, I've added a no facades property, which I could do the same over here. Like that, to remove those facades, see what it looks like inside. But I'll show you this other cool thing. I'll add the shiny property, make it shiny. And it should be shiny now. There you go, shiny. That's cool. And if I turn that on, it's still shiny. There you go, that looks nice. All right, so we've got ourselves cool little building.